we've got the Commanders and the Giants going at it in what I would consider is a crucial NFC East battle this weekend. Who do you think is going to come out on top and why?
Dude, I got Washington, man. They're hot right now. For whatever reason, as average as Taylor Heinicke has been playing, he has lifted this locker room into a different kind of execution status. They are just getting it done. The defense is finding ways to create turnovers. They're finding ways to stop people on third down, and they are just doing enough on offense to get to the red zone, score, and even if it's just all field goals, they're putting points on the board. That's what you expect out of a backup. And in this case, he's now the starter because he has taken Carson Wentz's spot because Carson's back. He's healthy. He's fine. Now, I will preface and say this could get out of hand if Chase Young is activated. He is listed as questionable. With the injuries to the Giants' offensive line and, of course, to the wide receiving core, I know for a fact that this potentially could be a massive issue for the Giants. Chase Young is a mismatch nightmare. I mean, he is just a force to be dealt with. Then you have one of the Sweat brothers, and it's just the list goes on and on. Like the pass rush and Jonathan Allen. I mean, good God, Washington's front four is solid when given the opportunity and is healthy. We know that the wide receiver core for the Giants is battered, bruised, injured. I mean, it's like that SpongeBob episode with that guy that's like, every day I wake up, I break my arm, and every night before I go to sleep, I break my legs. Like it's like they just cannot get away from the injury bug. I mean, for God's sakes, their only healthy receivers are on the injury report again. Like they're questionable. Richie James, who I don't even know who the hell that is listed as questionable, and Darius Slayton is questionable again. So it's like the Giants can't. Like I feel like they are the most injured team behind the Chargers because it's just both teams cannot stay healthy whatsoever. So I think a combination of injuries, Daniel Jones is being forced to put a lot more of the weight of the offense on his shoulders because teams are stacking the box to limit Saquon, which is of course becoming unfortunately a one-trick pony. And New York is on a two-game skid right now. Washington being the hotter team of the two, I think with the confidence of Taylor Heinicke and the emergence of the defense later on in the season, I think that is enough of a formula for the Commanders to continue to push forward, not only for a playoff spot, but for some respect in this division. Everybody had counted them out. Everybody had made fun of them, especially with the acquisition of Carson Wentz. Then you throw in Taylor Heinicke, and everybody was like, yo, it's a wrap. You guys are done. I have to make a note of this. A lot of teams, or should I say specifically, the two teams we made fun of the most when starting quarterbacks went down, which was the Cowboys when Dak went down and Cooper had to take over. And when Carson went out, everybody said it's a wrap. Taylor Heinicke already had his opportunity. It's over. Both chances, both backups have been doing absolutely incredible. So let's give a quick round of applause to the backup quarterback position in the NFL because this is why you get paid and this is why you say next man up. That's all that matters. That guy's got to be ready to go, studies the playbook, working with the first team offense, getting those reps during the week, and they're able to execute on game day. So shout out to Taylor Heinicke. I think he's going to get another pair of kicks, or should I say another pair of J's, to go out and what is it? I think he gets the colors of the opponents that he beats, right? I think so, if I'm not mistaken, every time they win. So I hope that Taylor Heinicke gets another pair here. Again, I always cheer for the home team in the Giants. I just think that they have too much going on over there, and Washington's hot.
Yeah, Kev, I'm with you 100% on this one. And it's not because the Commanders have this all powerful offense that's going to put up 30, 35 points with Taylor leading the way. That's not the case here. I think the way that they could win this game against the Giants is very simple. They just play clean offensive football, focus on running the ball with Brian Robinson, Taylor being smart with his passes, and not turning the ball over. And then defensively, all they got to do, pretty much as you outlined it, stack the box against Saquon and make Daniel Jones beat you. I think it's that simple when it comes to the playbook or the play style that the Commanders are going to try to impose on the Giants this upcoming Sunday. And when you look at the Commanders the last couple of weeks, this has been the winning formula for them. I mean, outside of the Eagles game where they went on the road to Philly and beat Philly for the first time this season, and they're the first team to beat Philly and the only team to beat Philly this year. That was the only time I've really seen the Commanders, led by Taylor, to really put on a huge offensive show. But a lot of their other games, they've been relatively pedestrian offensive performances. You can look back to the Titans, not the Titans, the Texans game a couple weeks ago. They only put up 23 points on the board. You look at the Falcons game last week, they only put up 19 points on the board. And Taylor really wasn't that special as far as I see it. The only thing that was special was that he didn't turn the ball over. So it's at least a tip of the cap in his favor, I guess. But, going up against this Giants defense, it still is going to be tricky simply just because even though there's a lot of injuries on that side of the ball with New York, I still believe that the Giants are still going to be able to put up a decent defensive performance simply just because they know that Taylor is still kind of weak at the quarterback position when it comes to just pushing the ball down the field and really leading to those high explosive plays. That's not really Taylor's style. Taylor can do it at times. You can get Terry McLaurin involved. You could utilize guys out of the backfield in the passing game as well. But as far as I see it, the Commander style of play is running the football and using Taylor at the right time to be able to execute. And the Giants, if they were fully healthy going into this game, I think they would have a much more decent chance to win this game against the Commanders. But like you said, Kev, with all the injuries that the Giants have been dealing with, not just on the defensive side, but the offensive side as well, I just don't have faith for them going into this game. And, when it comes to Daniel Jones, I've really kind of gone at Daniel Jones the last couple of weeks. When it just comes to his effectiveness, I just don't have faith in him. I will say that he's done a better job this season compared to years past in not turning the ball over. He's done a lot better because, the first couple of years he was in the league, he was turning the ball over multiple times per game. And honestly, if you were able to get some sort of pass rush on him and you got a decent hit on him, there's a good chance he might fumble the ball. Now, like I said, he's definitely cleaned that up, and I think that's definitely a part why the Giants have been a more better team this year. But it's also based on their defense as well. But like I said, with the injuries that they've been dealing with and them being on a 2-game skid, I think it's going to turn into a 3-game skid after this game goes final on Sunday. I think the Commanders win this one. I'm going to say relatively comfortably. I'm not going to say it's going to be like a 3-touchdown blowout and this game's a runaway at halftime. I don't foresee that happening just because both quarterbacks I don't think are really designed to have those types of performances week in and week out. Maybe here and there, but I don't think those guys are really built for that. I don't think the offensive systems that are built around them are really executed towards that fashion. But I definitely see the Commanders putting up somewhere around, I'm going to say about 20 to 24 points in this one. I think the Giants are going to put somewhere around 14 to 17. So I guess just to kind of put a score on this one, I'm going to say the Commanders win this one by the score of 23 to 14. I think it's going to be a 2-possession game when it's all said and done, albeit a 9-point game when this game goes final. But, you look at that situation, the Commanders would bump up to 8-5. They would technically be tied with the Giants at that point. And, going into the last couple weeks of the season, the Commanders, if they play their cards right, they could make a playoff run here. They can get one of those last wild card spots in the NFC if they're able to play up to snuff the last couple weeks. And I think, this game against the Giants this upcoming weekend is going to be in their favor. I think it's going to be one of those moments where they could use this game as just another step as motivation to possibly make a playoff run this year. So, got the Commanders winning this one by 9 points. That's just how I see this game playing out.